Alrighty then, let's see how this all works. I should probably actually update the the live stream name, shouldn't I? Because what we're going to be working on is, go over here really quick. What I'm going to be doing is I'm actually working on a self-replicating ship. Well, I shouldn't say self-replicating. What I wanted to do is I actually wanted to work on some, well, to build drones, basically. So let's rename this. So what we're going to actually end up making is a mobile drone base. Hopefully that is going to update appropriately. We shall see. You know, we all know my luck with the way that things like to or do not like to update. Now, this is going to be a completely vanilla build. The reason being is that I want to be able to submit it over to somebody who is making mods and have them import it into their world or into their settings. And you will probably know who it is immediately after you see everything that's set up. We'll see though, we'll see. Now I have actually already started the build. I just basically got, I'm trying to get an idea for how big I need to make the area for the drones to be replicated. So what I've done is I've taken a copy of their biggest drone, and we're gonna bring that in, and we're basically gonna build around it. So I want to make sure we have enough room that we can actually get things into and out of the construction area. And hopefully, did I load the wrong one? I may have loaded the wrong save. We'll see. I loaded the wrong save. Oh, bloody hell. Ah, all right. Man. Not even worry about saving. Let's try that again, shall we? Son of a... Yeah, the save name probably gave it away. Oh, there we go. So what we're gonna do is there is a... Oh, this is before the kamikaze drone blew up. Okay. So basically what we're going to do is these two drones here, you have the strike drone and you have the salvage drone, which are basically the two biggest of the drone types. So what we're going to do is we're going to come over here a little bit, and we're going to go ahead and drop a copy of one of the drones down. And so what I'm thinking is, let's go ahead and do this. So we're going to go ahead and drop one of these in here. Sure. It should be far enough away that we can get away with doing this with hopefully not blowing everything up. And what we're going to try and do here is we're going to see if we can get this set up so that it is mostly on the same plane. I'm not overly worried about it. Oh, come on. Are you freaking kidding me? Come on. Thank you. There we go. That's 3. It's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, okay. And we're going to do one more on the end here just to go ahead and keep this all even. Get rid of that block. And then from this side, we are going to do it again, which is where we're going to go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We want 11 on this one. And I will show you why shortly. Now we can get away with having this be a little bit smaller. But I am not overly worried about that right this second. That should be, yeah, that should be good. All right. And then what we're going to end up with is we're going to bring this back in a little bit. Let's go. Because we're not overly worried about some of this stuff right now. Actually, you know what I do want? I do want to go ahead and grab a reactor. And like I said, we are going to go ahead and we're going to do this as a vanilla build. Keeping the mods to an absolute positive minimum. And what was the other one I wanted? I wanted a cockpit. There. Alright, so this is just basically going to be a temporary thing. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Excuse me. Hiccups this morning. And we will eventually have to move this stuff away, but for now, this is just so that when we are working with the ship, we don't have to worry about it drifting off into space. All right, and you are going to go that way. And you go that way, and let me turn down my monitoring here a little bit because that's a little bit loud for me. All right. And we're going to go ahead and do this and flip this one like so. Okay. So now we don't have to worry about this whole thing drifting off because we're going to be doing a lot of work where we're adding and removing things. And I didn't want to build a space dock for it, so because I'm being lazy. So this is going to go like this. Now I could turn symmetry mode on, and I may end up doing that at some point. But for right now, what I'm trying to do is just get an idea of basically how we're going to get things to work. And we did that as a 4-step, so it's going to go 1, 2. There we go. Perfect. And then we will repeat this down here on the bottom as well. And what we're going to end up with, whoops, take that out. Because what we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to say like so. Like so. Like so. And we're going to repeat this on both the top and the bottom. Part of it is because I want to have this set up as a launch facility as well as a shipyard. There you go. And we'll come back and we'll do some sculpting, you know, afterwards. But what we're really looking for here at this point is just to get some general shapes in place. You're gonna go like so. Like so. Oh, nope, nope. You're you. Did not want that. All right. So that should give us our general shape. All right. And like I said, we will come back. We'll take out some of the blocks to give us cutaway views. We're going to go ahead and do that. Basically just tying the whole thing together right now. All right. one of the things I want to do is make sure we have... we're going to need to make sure that the cockpit is actually remains attached. And we're just going to do this so I can find it easier when we come back to it later. I'm less likely to cover it up with stuff. Right. So that's the emitter. Okay. Alright, so now we have an idea of how big we need the area to be. What we need to do now is we're going to set up that projector. So we're going to go like so. So we'll grab this one. Lock is turned on. Alright, so is it not... It's been so cold without you here. We barely said goodbye before you disappeared. It's been so cold. Oh, it's because it's the wrong grid size. Alright. Show you how to fix this really quick. So what we're going to do is we're going to have we want you take the rotor head off of that, jump into the cockpit again. We're going to find our rotor. And what we're going to do is we're going to have it attach a small head. And now that it has a small head on it, we'll take our projector once more. There we go. Okay, so that's the top. And now we're looking for the... Okay, so that would be the front. So we went that way and that way. And the reason we want that is because when we are doing everything, what we're going to want to do is we're going to need to be able to adjust things around. So go ahead and get that running. All right. So if you notice, we have a projector behind us. So what we're going to want to do, we're going to go back into that projector. We're going to do horizontal offset, see which way that moves us. Vertical offset is going to move us the other way, so we're going to have to go negative. Forward is there. And how's that looking? Okay, that's looking pretty good. So now what we're going to want to do is go back in here. We're going to take over that projector again. And now we want to set you like a so. We want it because we want it in the middle, or as much in the middle as we can get it. And let's go 30. That should be far enough out. All right. Perfect. And that's how you set up a replication system right there. Ah. All right. So now what we're going to need to do is we're going to set up the actual production facility for this. And to do this, we are going to need to grab a couple of things. So we're going to get rid of these. So we don't need these anymore. Don't need that, and shouldn't need that. But we will need armor blocks. Your heavy armor. Okay, just making sure I got all the heavy armors. We will need eventually a remote control block. We'll need some batteries at some point as well, but we're not going to worry about all that. We're worried about the production aspect of it right now. So we want conveyors, and we want welders. Let's go ahead and grab our conveyor block out of here. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to bring in a couple of different things here. We're going to do, let's go, come on. There we go. What we're doing is we're basically setting this thing up so that we're going to be able to produce these things. What we want here is we're going to go like this. Alright, you're not going to let me get away with that? Alright. We'll show you what we're going to do here in a moment. Alright, so what we'll do is let's set this up. So if you're doing a large grid production, you'll be able to do that right there. If you are doing a small grid, we're going to need to have a little fun with this here. And you are going to go like so. Oh. Actually, I want to add one more to it because we want it clear of the merge block above it. Come on. There you go. Now, the reason you do this is because the system, the way that the whole system is set up, is it has to be in contact with an existing block, right? So what we'll do is we'll end up with this piece where, actually, you know what? Let's do it. Let's have it come in right here where it merges up with a flat. There you go. And this spar, we'll set it up to be ground off once it's once everything is said and done. And why we went ahead and did this is that way if you use a large projector. Hey Daniel, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Wharf 3K. Nice. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, we're just building a drone replicator right now. So basically what I am doing is I'm setting the whole thing up so that we'll be able to send this over to somebody to import into their mod. We're just trying to get our all of our angles and everything sorted out here, figure out what our actual spacing needs to be. And you are going to go like so. And yes, I could be using symmetry mode. We are in creative mode, obviously. And I will use symmetry later. But for right now, I want to make sure we have everything set up properly. So it's more important to me to get the... I can't believe I just did that. All right. Yes. Oh, son of a... You can tell it's still early here. Alright, so we'll get that tied in. You're actually tied in on this side. That's good. Alright. So yeah, basically what we're doing is we're setting up a... oh, really? Are you kidding me? Son of a... Alright. It's fine. Easy to fix. See? It's fixed. Oh, so this is where the welders are going to end up. And what we'll do is we'll set it up. Hopefully, we'll be able to get the spacing in here so that we'll be able to get things to grind that out without destroying the rest of the ship. But for now, we're going to go to, and then we want, there we go. Ah, son of a... And number 3, okay. Now we're going to repeat that over here. And like I said, once we have all of our positioning done, we should be okay. And there. All right. So this should give us enough coverage to basically weld anything that we really want to. I am going to probably, well, we'll definitely test it to make sure. The only other thing that I really need to do at this point then is the grind this piece off. All right. What we're going to do here, you know what? Let's take you out. We'll leave that there for now, but we are going to mount. Yeah, let's do it this way. So if we go, is that 1, 2? So you do have to come out after all. All right. That's fine. And we'll be able to come back and redo all of this eventually. Like I said, it really is right now just a very rough in kind of thing. We're not really doing a final build, as it were. You are the welder, not the grinder. I want the grinder, please. Grinder goes there. Okay. Awesome. There you go. What I'll probably do is actually, you know what? Let's do it now before I forget about it. And we'll move that up 1. Right there. And that should allow it to grind those off and then eject the whole thing out. Hey, no worries, Daniel. Hope you have a great day, man. Thanks for dropping in, buddy. All right. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and grab that. That's got all of the basics in place. I'll probably put another grinder. I don't want to. That should be okay. All right. Okay, so let's go ahead and grab you out of there. We're going to replace that up here. There we go. Now, that way we can actually tie this whole thing back into a larger ship area. So we're going to do one there. We're going to do one there. And that allows us to tie a bunch of these into the central supply system. So coming out of here, let's go ahead and grab you. We're going to move you over here now. Basically just trying to keep the stuff out of the way while we're working, because we're going to have to come back and remove some of this anyway. Alright. But for now, this works. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to grab this, and we're going to come back 2, 3, yeah, I don't know, like 10? Yeah, that should be good. We're going to go another 10 this way. 10 that way. Now I'll show you why we're doing this here in a moment. Alright, so first thing I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead and grab a copy of this. And we're going to bring this up here. Let's go ahead and get this thing set up so we can safely, hopefully, paste it. There we go. Alright. We're going to show you how to do modular pasting. Alright. So let's go ahead and grab this. We're going to cut this thing loose, and then we're going to grab a copy of you. Like so. And what we do is we want this thing to tie into the area that we just added. So let's go ahead and bring it in a little bit. Are you shouldn't be a station. You should be okay for... Is that where we want it? No. All right. Let's try doing this a little bit more easily, hopefully. Really? Are you really gonna do that? Alright, you son of a... you are really annoying me today, aren't you? Right. Let's try this one more. Used to work all the time. I don't know why it's not working now. Get rid of you. Thank you. Oh, son of a... Sheesh. Alright. You tell it's been a while since I've had to do this? Alright. So you used to be able to just snap... Oh, you know what? Because you used to be able to just snap them in like that. Now I need to get my angles back here. Are you really not going to let me? You are really annoying me today. Come on. This is always the frustrating part, because you basically have to grab this thing at the right angle in order to be able to paste it. And it's just basically irritating the hell out of me right now. Let's see if that attached the way it's supposed to attach. Yes, it did. Okay. Sheesh. Way too much work sometimes. There we go. All right. And you should be attached directly in the middle. You are. That is good. Do one more there. Awesome. All right, now what this allows us to do is to start tying the whole thing together. Now we'll be able to put in some cargo. Let's go ahead and get some of this out of here, get that out. And we're going to go ahead and get so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these on basically each corner here. We'll then tie them together. So we're actually going to use conveyors on the upper side, because this side's actually going to be enclosed eventually. And what we're going to do here is then bring these all together. Right. Now those should all be tied together. We should be able to safely remove that block. And the reason we're removing that is because we want to put in an actual reactor. Now, what we're going to do is we're actually going to put a conveyor junction here. And I need to bring that up 1 block, so you go there on this side, and there on this side, and what we'll be able to do so it should give us connectors. Okay, perfect. All right. Okay, so that's all tied together. We're gonna have this come out here and basically have this go like that. Conveyor on that side, conveyor on that side. That's not what I want to do. Right. What I could probably get away with doing is if I really wanted to, is I could do, and then just tie it in directly here. But I'm a bigger fan of having a little bit of interesting conduit work inside my builds. Just makes it more fun, you know? All right. Okay, so you are the one that comes in. Like so. Flip you around that way. Go ahead and do one of these. We'll bring it out 1. Rotate. There you go. So now everything is wired in. We're going to do that. And we're going to do the same thing on this side now. And what this is doing is basically just giving us a little bit of redundancy on the system. So let me show you here. We will have gravity in here for when people are if somebody gets on board the ship. But basically, as you can see, you get stuck in here. I don't want you being able to get through all of this. But when you come in, you'll actually be able to at least get to here. I did think about lifting this up and putting a passageway in here, but The other side of it is that, well, like I said, it's an automated system. It doesn't need to have crew quarters or anything in here. And then for down here, we're going to do something a little bit different, where we're just going to do a very simple conveyor set. And now the purpose of this, like I said, is basically just to tie stuff together. Alright. Now I did think about duplicating all of this. Actually, I should say replicating all of this down below. But I do want there to be differences between what's going on. But the big part of this is that when it's done, that's actually going to be the bottom. And can we get away with... You know what? Let's do this instead. Instead of doing it like that, we are going to replicate part of it, I think. All right. Let's go ahead and get this going. And that allows us to do let's see here. So now we're gonna have you come out this way, you come out that way, take you out. And so this way, what we'll be able to do is to basically tie this all together, give it a little bit more structure. And I'll probably put a cockpit block in right there. And we'll have interior turrets, so when you if you try to break in, you know, there will be some form of defense in here. But this allows us to get some basic shaping going on. And you're going to go that way. And then obviously this is not set up for atmospheric use. If somebody wants to convert it later, they are more than welcome to. All right. And then we just go like so. Allows us to start getting some of this stuff set up here. Alright, so you are done on this side. Like I said, this is the bottom, so I'm thinking we might do something like this. Just trying to get some blocks in place so that we can figure out what we want to do with it. Yeah, let's go this way with it instead. We can place a block there, but not. Okay. Also make sure we have this set up right here. Yeah. I might even come back and do this instead. Or we'll start the incline there. Yeah, I think I like that a little bit better than having this set up the way it is. I want to make sure that that is set up in the same on both sides. Yes, it is. All right. And what we're going to do is we're going to place a window there over that, just to close it off. We're going to go on the other side here. I do apologize if I seem to get quiet. We are just kind of working on this stuff, having a little bit of fun. Hopefully having some fun, right? And from here, we're going to go like so. And that should hopefully give you a better idea of what we're actually doing here now. We're going to close that off just because we can. Go ahead and get some of those in here. There we go. All right, and we go ahead and drag this over here. go there, you're gonna go here. Not too much more. So is that all of those? Okay. And I think this will be the last of these blocks. There you go. All right, so there's all of that. You are main walkway, so if we go like that. Actually, you know what? No. We're going to do this a little bit differently. Oh, there we go. And yes, I left that open intentionally right there. All right. Now, we will end up enclosing the rest of these arms and everything. Hey, Demon, how you doing, buddy? Welcome to the stream. So, like I was saying, we will end up enclosing all of these. Basically, we're going to have these attached like so. We're going to take the first one of those out. We're going to rinse and repeat. We are in creative mode, just doing a little bit of a little space station build. Now I'm going to grab this here because I want to be able to tie that together. And what fun is it if you don't have the ability to look in on the things that you have built? Right? All right. So we went to there, to there. Bringing all that together. There you go. So this is something that I've wanted to build for a while. It's basically a base like this that's fairly mobile that you can use to have a small shipyard in it. So now we have the ability to produce 4 drones simultaneously. We'll definitely come back, clean up some of this, like take all of these thrusters out and everything. All right. So let's go. Where did we put ourselves at? Lost track of where I went. Oh, there we are. We're over there. Okay. Let's head this way. Okay, so that's what we have so far. In fact, something along those lines. And I'm thinking what we're gonna do is let's go to there. Now we're gonna do the same thing on this side. The mighty space station panda? Yeah, no. This is actually being built for I'm not gonna say by request, because it's definitely not a request build. But I wanted to try my hand at something, and what I wanted to do is I'm basically gonna give this over to Lucas when it's done. I'll put it up on the workshop for folks that are interested in it. But I thought it'd be kind of fun to build something that would, you know, basically allow you to replicate drones as quickly as possible. So you're going to end up with basically 4 of these bays like this. Let's see if we can... I don't know how I feel about that. Yeah, maybe. Let's take a look and see how it works this way. So if we fully close that off, oh, see, I can put lights and stuff here in the middle. Ah, see. So we end up with basically a launch array. Yeah, I think we're going to do that. I kind of like the way that worked out. Yeah, hopefully it'll be cool. It's a little faster doing this in spectator mode than it is in character mode. Like I said, I could turn symmetry plane on, but I tend to have issues where symmetry does not always work the way that it's supposed to work. So see, the difficult piece that I'm going to have is when I go to finish the exterior hull, because this is just basically major components right now. It's not really in a position to go final, obviously. Alright. So that's the top of the station. We'll go ahead and do this. You're already done. And basically I'm trying to make these big enough so you could use it to build pretty large ships. I mean, you could actually put a small grid, a large enough small grid ship in here that you'd be able to walk around a little bit inside of the grid. So. Gravity launching? Well, with the way that it's designed, we could actually make gravity launchers, but he has his own things as far as gravity launches are concerned, so I'm not going to mess with that too much. Not in this build, at least. I actually have gravity launcher builds that I do. This is not one of them. Same basic mechanic as far as the layout is concerned for most of my my gravity launchers. All right, so let's go ahead and get the last couple of these in here. Alright, so it looks like all of those are done. And like I said, I will come back and eventually we'll clean up most of this as well. So I really... Son of a... Sheesh. Let's try that again, shall we? But yeah, so he actually does a lot of his own, because of all the scripting that he does, he basically has stuff spawn in. What I wanted to do was have something where you're actually manufacturing. So he's gonna, you're gonna have to put a bunch of materials in the cargo pods and. But for now, so is there? I don't think we have any place really to put gyros yet. Let's turn that off. Yeah, I can mount some gyros in there. Because we don't want this thing to be completely inmaneuverable or unmaneuverable. Yeah. So that at least gets us a little bit of maneuverability on it, right? Yes, they are for building the small drones. Let me show you what we've got. So we have the small blocks that come in and basically mount up here. You have the grinder, which will take those blocks out for you. I might... So what I'm going to do is once we have this set up, I'm going to test it. See how well it works, because I may need to reposition it so that the grinder is actually on the bottom. But I haven't decided yet. That's the one thing I don't like about the way that the holographic projectors work as far as using them in crafting systems like this. So, but we'll see. We'll see. All right. So let's get ourselves right side up here. Oh, all right. And I don't know where I want to go with it from here. I'm probably going to have to sketch this out a little bit more. Because we're getting to the point where I can actually start moving some of the things like the ion thrusters. Let's go ahead and move. So we're going to go ahead and do... I'm just going to throw a couple down here for holding our location. And one more on this side. And then basically that'll allow me to get rid of the rest of the ones we have elsewhere on the build. We're going to come down here. We're just going to drop one right there. Okay. Yes, that should be, if not all of them. I don't think I have any on that side, right? I don't know. So we go ahead and get rid of the rest of these really quick. Had to stop and make sure I wasn't deleting the thrusters that I needed. All right, so we've got one down, one up, one each side. Okay, yeah. That will work. Now what we were talking about doing before was having a cockpit over here. Actually, can we put... There we go. And which way do we have it set up? All right. So we'll put a control station in there. There we go. All right. And then basically this is just so that if you ever need to get in here and do anything, you'll be able to turn things on and off as you need to. Oh, now the rest of it is building out things like the control systems, putting in programmable blocks. This is probably going to extend down a little bit further. But for the most part, this is the basic shape of the build. Let's get a quick... Now, one of the things that I'm thinking about doing is when I tie this whole thing together, I'm actually thinking about having, let me show you here. Since we have the connector here, I'm actually thinking about having it set up so that the bottom of this basically all tapers into kind of a, like a bowl on the bottom so that you can build larger ships underneath. Yeah, if it starts floating away, you deleted too many. Yep. And I'm thinking that I'm thinking that's what I'm going to do with it. So I'll probably re-engineer the arms on these a little bit. But yeah, I think I'm going to have to sit down and sketch it out a little bit. This was basically built on, you know, just sitting here playing around with it. Killed the Broodmother Gamma on max difficulty solo. Very nice. So you have his combat, his melee basically maxed out. Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do. Which means I'm gonna have to run some of the, I'm gonna have to run conduit down. Or I should say conveyors down. I may actually run here, run it center line, and split it. Because if I take... No, that is not the one I wanted to take out. Oh, how far in is that? 1, 2. So if I do... that, I can take those out and have it run that way, or take this one out and have it run this way. I'll probably take this out and have it run that way. So let's do this to anchor it a little bit better. Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do. And what we'll end up with is I'll end up with a another array down here set up so that we can actually produce larger ships. 5,000 damage and high health, huh? Well, that's not too bad, man. I mean, that's a good thing to have, especially if you're playing on vanilla. That's really good for a vanilla setting. All right. So I think I'm going to go ahead and call this one here because I need to sit down, sketch out a little bit more of this, get my ideas a little bit more concrete as far as what we're trying to do with it. But yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. So I want to thank you all for stopping in today. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you hit that like. If you want to see more, be sure to subscribe. We do stream here on YouTube on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'm over on Twitch side on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Mondays through Thursday, we do all of our streams at 11 a.m. U.S. Pacific time. And for Friday, we do a 5 p.m. Pacific. And it's generally the 7th day of survival in 7 Days to Die, or, you know, something a little bit more exciting than just free building. So anyway, I'm going to get out of here. I hope you all have a fabulous day. Have a terrific week. And we will see you all back here next time for more, whatever game we happen to be playing. As always, folks, take care and be safe out there, everybody. Thanks, Demon. You too, man. Have a great day, man.